Welcome to Explore Maths with Syed, your maths companion. In today's class, we are going to discuss about graphs and signs of quadratic expression. That is ax square plus bx plus c. Regarding this, graphs, how they will represent for different values of a, that is either positive or negative, and depends upon the discriminant, we'll see in this video. We have modified the equation, that is quadratic expression, in terms of y and x by completing square method. You can see on the screen. So as you know that for plotting a graph, x and y axis are required, and we have taken a graph. First of all, for a greater than 0, so what would be the graph? And simultaneously, if d is less than 0, that is discriminant is less than 0, so we know that for a greater than 0, the graph will be showing upward direction. Not only that one, you can see that arrow mark, the values are extending towards positive direction of y. So that's why the entire graph is also positive. That is, f of x is greater than 0. That is, here f of x is nothing but quadratic expression. And one more thing, the point where we can see small dot here, this position indicates x value, that is minus b by 2a, where we will get the minimum value of this quadratic expression. Through this, if a line is drawn, it will divide the parabola, that U-shaped curve, into two equal parts. This is called as axis of symmetry, and this axis of symmetry is parallel to y-axis. In next case, the same a greater than 0, that is x square coefficient is greater than 0, and d is equal to 0. We know that d equal to 0, we have equal roots. It will touch the x-axis at one particular point. That means it is lying on x-axis. And as you know that it is showing the upward direction, still f of x is greater than 0 as well as equal to 0. That's why f of x is greater than or equal to 0. In the third case, for a positive case, that is a greater than 0, so we have discriminant greater than 0. So here be careful regarding the condition, because we need to be clear about the concept. Here x-axis is cut by the parabola at two different places. One is alpha and the second one is beta. As you know, again the curve is going towards the y-axis, upward direction of y-axis, that is positive. Here it is positive, but you can see some lower portion of curve is showing towards negative direction. So that's why you can see that infinity line minus infinity to alpha as well as beta to infinity, it is going upward direction. So for that case, we can say that f of x is greater than 0 for x. Here x must be there. X belongs to minus infinity to alpha union beta comma infinity. And what about the lower case, that which is going towards the negative direction? For that values which are ranging between alpha and beta, it will be negative. That means quadratic expression is negative. F of x is less than 0 for alpha comma beta. And these are the three cases we have seen for a greater than 0. Let us see if a is less than 0. If a is less than 0, then curve is downwards. And we have taken one more case here, d less than 0. So discriminant is less than 0, so it will lying below the x-axis, and this is the point as we have discussed. Even in this case, we'll get x is equals to minus b by 2a, and we'll get axis of symmetry, and here in this case we'll get maximum value. So as it is showing that arrow mark towards the negative direction, f of x will be less than 0. And the second case in a less than 0, by including d equal to 0, similar to that of the first case, as we have seen in a greater than 0, it is also touching the x-axis, but it is downwards. Again, it is showing the negative direction of the y-axis. The curve is extending toward the negative direction. So that's why f of x is less than 0, but at the same time equal to 0. That's why f of x is less than or equal to 0. And the last case where a less than 0 and discriminant is greater than 0. In this case, we are going to see the curve touching the x-axis at two different places being downwards. It is first one alpha, the second one beta. And as usual, from minus infinity to alpha and beta to infinity, it is showing downwards. That means it is negative. And for the case which is between alpha and beta, it is showing the upward direction. That is, f of x is positive. I hope you understand the concept.